Hello, I'm Marshall Kanter. I'm the originator behind What Awaits Aleksey. I manage the team and I'm the lead developer. The hardest decision was to make a big refactor, rewrite when Igor and Yoda arrived in the project, to address some fundamental issues so that the development could go forward at a faster pace. That was definitely a difficult decision. Honestly, I'm really proud that we managed to make the UX really good. I think that the illusion of depth that we have and of the shading in the, let's say, desk view is really good. I'm very satisfied with it. After the success of Papers, Please, very few games managed to implement systems inspired on that game. And I think we managed to make something unique. Take that, a la Papers, Please-esque desk view, add a lot of other things and make something completely new. I think it's gonna be very interesting. And paired with that, I think that the story, the plot in What Awaits Aleksey is actually very thought-provoking. I hope that the players will be sucked into the plot. For the full release, for sure, my main concern will be adding more deciphering mechanisms. Of course, we have a lot of drafts and ideas, but the key is to keep the implementations that will feel the best for the player. Because, of course, with a game like this, when you have deciphering as a mechanic, the biggest concern is that it is fun. Because, of course, it's going to be interesting, but after all, this is a video game, and our priority is to make engaging deciphering mechanics. I wish that you have great fun and that you enjoy What Awaits Aleksey. I think that our game is something a bit new on the indie market. Right now, I would say that indie releases follow common themes periodically. I think our game will be something that stands out. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks, and have fun.
Hi, my name's Henry Wolf Carradine. I'm the composer doing the music for What Awaits Aleksey. I'm a classically trained pianist and composer who currently lives in Austria. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Musica Universalis, where I post lots of sort of informational videos about classical music. I've done music for media, for theater, even one film. This is my first time working on a video game, so I'm really excited about it. I originally started with the game by hearing it was a detective game set in a sort of communist, socialist Poland. What I initially wanted to go for was more of like a film noir style of music, a little bit jazzy with vibraphones and trumpets. I grew up in Los Angeles, so I grew up with those kind of movies as a child. But then I wanted to mix in some like Soviet and Polish stuff in, so I wrote a Polonaise for it, and I wanted like Chopin influences. I tried to find a crossroad between like Soviet socialist, sort of Warsaw Pact Poland and Hollywood film noir. As far as the tracks that I like the best, I'm stuck between ambience desk music, so when you're sitting at the desk working. I like it because it's kind of experimental, very 20th century. I experiment with like tone rows and 12-tone music and stuff in that. It's a hard choice for me. I'm happy with all of them, but probably the like standout piece is the Polonaise. I grew up on old like Super Nintendo video games, which are very melodic. They have lots of melodies and they're very catchy. And it's like after you've played whatever Super Mario World or something, you had the soundtrack stuck in your head all day. I've noticed in a lot of modern games, they sort of focus on ambience, sound atmospheres more than like really melodic soundtracks, because it's sort of like old school graphics in the game. I wanted it to feel also sort of like an old game where you'd have the melodies stuck in your head. I really hope you guys enjoy playing the demo. I certainly look forward to playing it after a long development period to get here, and I'm really excited for people to finally get their hands on it.
Hi, my name is Igor Baranowski. I'm the programmer and the QA at our project. That means not only I push out code that does things in our game, I also test it and make sure that everything works as intended. The thing that took us the most time to find were really bugs that emerged from the system itself. So from Godot in this instance, it was simple things like just displaying small amounts of text, maybe coloring it and making sure it's the right size. But those kind of things were the hardest to achieve just right. I think the feature that took us absolutely the most to perfect was the shadow system. It went through so many iterations, it exchanged hands so many times, but in the end it was well worth it, as I think that the system that is in place right now really makes you immersed in the desk experience of actually placing items on top of other items, and seeing that depth created by the shadows is absolutely amazing. If you want to help us develop the game further, please use the in-game form to note anything that really catches your eye that's like, I'm not sure this is how it's supposed to be. Anything that felt a little, even a little unnatural. Take note of that, use the in-game form and let us know. We'll definitely take a look into it. The only thing that's left for me to say is I can only hope that you have the exact same amount of fun as we had building this game, as you will have playing it. So have fun.
Hey, I'm Patrick, also known as Yodut, and I'm a developer for What Awaits Aleksey. I mostly do the programming, but I sometimes do additional sprites, and I'm responsible for creating the 3D model animations. I think it has to be the shadow system. It looks pretty cool. Our current system is kind of funny how it works, because we basically have a 3D world which renders the shadows, and then we take those shadows and apply them to the 2D scene. Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell because I can't really pinpoint one thing, but if I had to choose one, I would say it's sounds, because it's something that players don't really notice, but once it's there, it makes a big difference. It's really hard to choose because proud of the whole package. If I have to choose, I would say the item system. Like, you know, the picking up, rotating, the inventory, all that stuff that's happening on the desk. It ended up pretty well. I'm proud of it. I could also mention the 3D animation system, but it's a pretty small thing compared to the whole desk system. Probably the biggest thing I'll keep an eye on is that the game actually releases. I'm quite stubborn in actually finishing projects, so we'll have to polish the desk system even more so it will be the most intuitive experience for everyone. So yeah, I think that's about it, and well, have fun playing the demo. See ya!
Hi, Mr. Pekin Cheek here. I'm a professional game artist who's been working with pixel art for over 3 years now. That said, I'm mostly known for having a cat as my profile picture. I drew inspiration from various reference materials. Thanks to that, I was able to improve what was already there and add some new elements. I'm most satisfied with the background elements and inanimate objects, especially the office room, where I used one-point perspective even though I had a few issues with it at the beginning. I hid a few things here and there. This mainly applies to the word cat appearing somewhere in the background in different forms and languages. Of course, you can also find elements referencing this fluffy, clawed creature on various in-game objects. I wish you fun while searching for cats in the game. And by the way, don't look into the game's internal files. You might accidentally let them out.
Hello, my name is Gracjan. I also have a channel named Shop Demaskuje, and I make marketing and everything else that the rest of the team doesn't have time for. So for example, sound effects. From my perspective, the hardest thing to achieve was so you could even hear about our game. Because without the people on the other side of the screen, even the best project doesn't make much sense. And if you play our demo and something moves you, that means that it was worth it. I'm also about making algorithms see us and writing to famous people to try our game. So if you see What Awaits Aleksey somewhere else, that means that, yeah, I did my job properly. We don't have the budget of big game studios, but we have you, the people, the players, and you are the most important part of every game. So thank you for your patience, thank you for believing in us, thank you for keeping your wish lists. I highly encourage you to play our demo and have fun. Thank you very much.